Welcome to the Elliott Confidential podcast. My name is Christopher Elliott. I'm here with Aaron Elliott and Aiden Elliott.
It's good to be here.
It's good to be here too, yeah. We are coming to you from Istanbul, Turkey today. We made it all the way from South Africa.
Hallelujah. Long flight.
Hallelujah. That's what we were singing on the way here.
We are very happy to be out of South Africa. It was a long 2 months.
Very long 2 months.
And I think that we saw all that we needed to see.
We saw
Would you? I mean, that would be the diplomatic way of putting it.
all
Right?
that we need to see and more.
Yeah.
Yeah. We saw a lot of South Africa, and I think that now coming to Turkey, we can appreciate a place like Turkey way more, you know?
Yes, absolutely. In this episode, we are going to talk about how we got here, and we're going to talk a little bit about the air travel experience on an overnight flight. I just did a story for the Washington Post about how to sleep on an overnight flight. We're also going to discuss everything that we've seen so far in Turkey for the last 48 hours, our impressions of Istanbul, and whether or not it might be a good destination for you to visit. And we're going to also discuss emergencies on the road. So, I'm not going to say let's get started, but...
You already did. Too late.
Let's go with the trip here, Aiden. This was actually... We flew here on Turkish Airlines. This was your very first experience in business class.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Well, I want to say one thing before I go ahead, and I want to say that it was not Aaron's first. I've been bitter about that for a very long time.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah, I want to even it out. I want to make it so that way I go on a business class flight and he goes in coach, just to even things out. But it was very nice. It was a very nice flight. Talked to some interesting characters on the flight, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people in business class. They have the business class attitude, and that's fine. That's fine. They have the business attitude.
Well, to describe what is business, what's the difference between the people that you meet in business class, in the front of the plane, and economy class?
Okay, in economy class, it's like, oh, sorry, no problem. Hey, I'll do this for you, actually. Yeah, sorry about that. Oh, no, I'll put that up there. That's fine. And in business class, it's, do it, you fool. Who do you think I am?
You know who I am.
Who do you think I am? Do you see this face? You don't recognize it?
And Aaron, you were sitting next to Aiden.
I'm calling corporate. They will fire you on the spot.
So yes, you saw what was going on.
Yeah. There were some interesting characters. The person in front of me at one point refused to wear a seatbelt as we were landing. And then the person next to that one guy, he started complaining because the directions, they were giving directions, the safety instructions in Turkish. And he said, I don't understand Turkish. Why is this in Turkish?
On Turkish Airlines.
That's very good. It's a good accent you're doing now. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
what's the
even do a
Afrikaner?
South African
Oh, of course.
accent.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
Yeah. I really liked business class. Turkish Airlines has done a very nice job with business class. The service was great. They, came by and made sure that we were taken care of. Always had drinks, and
Oh, yes.
Because we are all on a plant-based diet, we asked in advance for the meals, and it was actually a little bit less elaborate than I thought it was going to be. They served us salads and curry, but it was good though.
Yeah,
I liked it.
My first business class experience with food was, not exactly what I expected. I expected it to be a little bit more, maybe some more drinks, because we were only actually given drinks twice.
It was an overnight flight.
I know.
And then how was the sleep experience? Because they had these lie flat seats in business class.
But I'll tell you what, the lemonade was good. Back to the lie flat seats. I had to finish that thought. The lemonade was very good.
Okay.
The lie flat seats are not what they're made out to be. Okay. See, I like to sleep with my legs apart. Maybe that's just because I'm a man.
Yeah, right.
You can't do that on the lie flat seats.
No.
I kind of counteracted that by blasting a ton of cold air at me. It kind of worked. I got about 3.5 hours of sleep, which is 3.5 hours more than I got in coach, so I'm happy.
And that's 3.5 more hours than I got. I didn't sleep at all on the plane.
Oh.
I tried.
It's
And Aaron,
funny.
Did you sleep?
You guys are the ones who always sleep in coach, and then the second we get into business class, you you don't sleep
well,
at all.
I am so used to sleeping standing on a
Standing?
plane.
You
I'm
mean
sorry. It's
sitting.
I'm so used to sleeping sitting.
You're like a bird.
Maybe when that
it
ambient
feels like I'm standing.
when that ambient vibration
gosh.
comes into play, you can only sleep standing up. You know.
Hey, but you know what though? I didn't use my noise canceling headsets, and I should have, because the noise canceling headsets actually do make a huge difference.
They were giving out
get the vibration from the engine.
They were giving out free noise canceling headsets.
Yeah.
Now, I know that sounds like you can take the noise canceling headsets with you. They took it at the end of it, but it was a very nice noise.
They did a really weird thing at the end where they took away half an hour before. They took away our headsets and replaced them with different headsets that were not noise canceling, which I've never seen anyone do. That was very strange.
Why did they do that? I didn't even notice it because I was sleeping.
That's right. Yeah, you were. Yeah, I don't think you even had breakfast on the plane.
No, I was.
They came by and said, "Wake up, we're landing."
Out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would say this is if you're more than 6 foot, you're going to have a hard time fitting into those lie flat seats.
Yeah, fly private, right?
Yeah, because those lie flat seats, like I tried going into them and I could really barely fit. And the worst part about it is I couldn't bend my legs while I was fully lie flat, which for me is a big no-no because I kind of like sleeping in the fetal position. Not exactly, but it's kind of like that. Is if you like bending your legs and tossing and turning and finding the right position, you're not going to like it because basically you have to be pointed straight up and you have to have a seatbelt on while you're sleeping.
That's right. That you have to have a seatbelt on.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah. You know what I really liked was when we were flying TAP Air Portugal from San Francisco to Lisbon, and they had the plane was maybe half empty, so you had a whole row of seats. You could lift up the armrests and just go to sleep there, and that actually was a really good. I mean, I don't think I really slept that much, but you could sleep.
Yeah,
so,
actually, to a certain extent, it was better because you could actually move your legs around there.
Well, I like, you know what? I am a weird kind of passenger. I like being left alone on the plane. I don't want anyone coming over and going, "Would you like another drink? Would you like something?" I just want people, especially on an overnight flight, I just want to be left alone. But that's just me.
Yep.
Anyway, we're here now, and we've experienced climate shock. We've gone from late summer, early fall in Cape Town to early spring in Istanbul.
Quite different.
It's quite different. It's not only a climate shock, but also a culture shock because everyone here speaks Turkish. Not a lot of people here speak English. But I'm still trying to get over like the difference in temperature. It's much drier here. We're still at sea level, but I just feel like, it's very, very different. How about you guys?
Same.
I think that it's not as different. I mean, yes, it's drier here, but it's still raining. It's spring, which is like spring and fall. I mean, they don't have much differences. Like in terms, like it's, for example, fall in South Africa, but here it's spring. So, it's going to be, you're going to have the same sorts of things. Rain, maybe choppier weather.
Yeah.
But the days here are getting longer as opposed to shorter. And
right. And when we were in Paarl, just north of Cape Town, it had already started feeling a lot like fall, where it was raining a lot.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
There's a certain fall feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels a little bit. So there is that similarity.
Yeah, and here with the late spring feeling, I feel like I'm coming out of spring skiing. The weather here, even though we're not up in the mountains and it's not snowing at all, I just feel like skiing because that's what the weather tells me. It tells me, "Hey, it's ski time, Aiden."
Yeah, right. It does have that vibe. I want to make sure our listeners have something useful from this, and one of the things that we experienced was trying to get connected. The moment that you land in a new country, you have a choice of either using your international plan on your cell phone, which can be very expensive, or getting a SIM card. And we famously lost our access to Google Voice because we were out of the country for too long.
Google Fi.
Google Fi,
thank you. Yes, Google Fi, which is our cellular plan. We still kind of have access to Google Voice. But then, so we've been using SIM cards. We used a SIM card in South Africa, and then when we arrived in Istanbul, the first thing we did was go and try to find a SIM card for our phone. And Aiden, can you explain what happened next?
Ooh. So, I'll tell you what, this is probably a scam. Like, just a total scam.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because we went to two places and got radically different prices. So one thing was true, and that was that the government defines minimum data numbers per month for people that come in. I guess they assume that people just use cellular data instead of a Wi-Fi router. So they say, okay, when you come into the country, the minimum number of gigabytes you can buy per month is 20 gigabytes. And then on top of that, some call and some text. So you got the whole shebang there. You're going to have no issues with cellular data while you're here if you buy that plan. But, and this is a big but. Okay, that came out wrong. But we went to two big but. Okay, they're looking at me funny right now.
A lot.
So we went to one place on one side of the airport and another place on the other side of the airport. The one on the first side we went to said $40, I think, per person.
It's 40 euros.
40 euros per person.
And they told us that the price would be the same wherever you went.
Yeah, the price would be the same wherever you went. Then we went to the other place.
It was in a big lie.
It was $31. We walked 5 steps and we got a $9 difference per person. Yeah. Sorry, €9 difference.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you know it's good.
And I think we got more gigabytes too. Anyway, we should say though that a SIM card is the little card that you put into your phone. I should have explained that. That allows you to.
Wait, you need to explain that?
Well, I don't know. You know what? An old guy like me doesn't necessarily know what a SIM card is.
I know.
Hey, kids! Why? When I was young,
But-
we walked backward in the snow to school. Yeah.
Yeah, we had to fight dinosaurs on our way to
Yeah.
summer camp.
I have to say though, there is a benefit to having a local SIM card. Firstly, you get a local number, and that means that you get to call other local numbers basically free. You get a certain amount of texts, which is very helpful if in certain cases. And then what else?
Well,
also,
but
you
stay
get
away from Vodacom because Vodacom will
Vodacom
send
is
spam
evil.
cards.
Vodacom
calls.
is evil. Vodacom is evil. I will say that for the rest of my life. Vodacom is evil.
Don't do business with
You
Vodacom.
want to know the funny thing about Vodacom? Vodacom, they keep sending us text messages. They're the most annoying thing. You block their number. They have a new number that sends you more promotional text messages. It never goes.
And calls.
And calls, too.
Calls.
Yeah, you get calls, too.
I was so happy when I took my Vodacom SIM card out for South Africa.
You want to know the funny thing about it when we were taking out the Vodacom cards? I swear to God, Vodacom adds a little sticky substance to the back of their cards to stick to your SIM card tray because they had so much trouble getting the Vodacom cards out of our phone. This is like an evil,
They're permanent.
Evil
yes,
company.
They're absolutely
Well,
permanent.
Evil.
Here's background. Vodacom basically is Vodafone. If you've ever been to Europe, Vodafone is one of the cellular providers. Vodacom is owned by the same parent company, but it operates in South Africa. So Vodacom, you're only going to have to deal with them in South Africa. But other than that...
No, they have them in Turkey too.
Yeah,
That's
Vodafone.
why
they have Vodafone.
Right, I'm just not even going to use anything that begins with Voda. I'm not using after that experience.
No.
But
It's all the same to me. All the same.
I'm afraid that they're going to spam me. And it was so annoying. I would get these phone calls and it would say, press 1 now. And then it would say, you may have already won, which is ridiculous. You're paying them for this data and then they're spamming you as well. Yeah. Crazy, just crazy.
It's
all right.
terrible.
So we're all connected. We got our plans. And I should say that it's significantly less than getting a cellular plan in the United States. Like we were paying more than $200 for all of our calls and text messages and our plans with data. And now we're down to, I think we're less than $100. It was actually less than $80 for the three of us put together.
Actually, you can directly compare the unlimited plans to the 20 gigabyte plans here because they have a limit on the fast, high-speed data. And if each of us used 20 gigabytes, we would have gotten to the fast speed limit very, very quickly. Because I think it's at like 30 gigabytes or something. So here we each have 20 gigabytes ourselves for about it was actually about $81 USD.
Yeah, they would have throttled our data if we'd gone over the limit on our unlimited plan. Anyway,
Exactly.
it was a good thing.
Exactly. So basically, that's $200 for 30 gigabytes for 3 people or $81 for 20 gigabytes a pop. That is a good deal here.
Yeah, so my recommendation is definitely go for the SIM card if you can. It's not much of a hassle. You just get off the plane, go down to the store, buy the SIM card, problem solved. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about Turkey because we're here now. We're staying at a beautiful hotel right along the Bosphorus. And today we did a lot of touring. Yesterday we took a boat tour up the Bosphorus. and we saw all of the bridges, and it was just an amazing experience. And then today we also did some more touring. So highlights for you guys?
Cats.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's talk about the cats.
Yeah, even on the yacht that they put us on, we were seeing cats along the river.
Yeah.
And then once we got off the yacht, it sounds weird to say that, and we took a walking tour of the city today, we saw so many cats.
Yeah,
they were all so cute.
They gave us a nice tour on a private boat, which was really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at you, Aiden, and behind you, I'm just seeing this silhouette of the city with the
Turkish
mosques, and the sun is setting. It's really, really beautiful.
Yeah. Look at
It's
that Turkish
very
flag.
nice.
They love. I will say this. You'll be surprised because I thought this was an American thing. They don't even do it like this in America, but they have huge Turkish flags everywhere.
Yes, they're very proud of the fact that they're Turkish.
Everywhere. They're almost as proud as the Pakistanis. And did you know, fun fact, Pakistan is the most proud, most nationalistic country in the world.
That does not surprise me. I saw that Netflix documentary about the cats of Istanbul, and I thought that someone had just gotten very creative, but it's true.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, there are cats here, and people take good care of them, and they're very friendly.
And they're so adorable.
We're going to post cat pictures with this
Oh
podcast,
yes, you need
of
to
course.
put my cat pictures
I will.
as the front of the podcast.
And Aaron, what did you think of the city?
Oh, you know what? This city reminds me so much of Portugal, Lisbon in particular. You know, it is the same sort of thing. It's a city built on a hill. Istanbul, though, it's so much bigger. And there's so much in the city that's uniquely Turkish. You can walk anywhere and you can find little shops that'll sell you baklava.
Oh yes, lots of baklava.
We should tell them about the donuts that we bought.
Yeah, well, we ended today. So yesterday we did the tour up the river, and today we did a tour of the city, and we ended at the Spice Market, which is a big tourist trap. Don't go there to buy things. Our tour guide was very helpful. She said, go just off the market. There are some other stalls, and you can get things much cheaper there. But go to the Spice Market to get photos, and then we ended up going there and getting Turkish sweets, and Aiden, you had donuts.
Oh yes, those Turkish delights were incredible. By the way,
yeah.
Get rose flavor. A rose flavored Turkish delight is one of the best things you can get here. Not one of the best things you can get here though are these. How could I describe it? It's these donuts, these Turkish donuts that are fermented. No, not fermented. They're
just dipped in honey. And
They're
it's kind of
drenched
gross.
in
They are
Yeah,
drenched, absolutely drenched in sugar syrup.
Yes. They love sweet things here.
Oh, yeah.
And so what happened was that we actually went and ate these, and then we had a sugar crash,
Okay,
sugar
well,
high, and then we had a crash.
Yeah, we
all went to
just woke
sleep.
up. We just woke up from a
Yes.
long nap. What I wanted to say was brined, because that's how it feels like when you eat these. You feel like these donuts have been brined in sugar, because it's at this point it doesn't even feel like bread. It feels like a grainy donut shaped item that is 99% sugar syrup. I mean, look, I'll tell you what. When I first took a bite out of it, I mean, I'm not very proud of this, but I actually did kind of like it. But now, after the sugar crash, I can honestly tell you that the flavor is not worth the
Yeah,
experience.
you slept for 3 hours after having that.
3 hours?
Yeah, you were.
I thought that was 30 minutes.
No, you were down
Oh
for
my
a long
God.
time. It's
Okay.
dark almost outside now. So you were
I
down.
went to sleep listening to music, and I woke up and I was like, "What is this noise? Why do I hear someone spraying a bottle?" And I looked on my phone, and Google auto recommended me all the way over to people spraying water bottles onto microphones.
Wow.
And that's a way that
You've
people
got
like
some
to.
strange
That's a way
recommendations.
that people like to relax.
You're listening to the Elliott Confidential podcast. I'm Christopher Elliott here with Aiden Elliott and Aaron Elliott. All right, last topic is emergencies on the road, because we have experienced several emergencies. I think the one that what I would consider an emergency is when no one understands you. So we're on this boat and our guide doesn't speak any English. So what happened then, Aaron?
Well, basically, thank goodness Google exists. So we open up Google Translate, and they have an interpreter mode.
And it works good.
It works
Yeah,
really
really
great,
good.
and we use that to talk with the guy. You know, it's fascinating. You know, here in Turkey, people don't have much English education. when they're in the fourth grade, I was told in the fourth grade they start studying English, and it's not to a very high level. It's mainly just to pass tests. So
It's entirely to pass tests, apparently. So
Yeah.
people they learn it and they forget it.
It's
Yeah.
just like
This
Japan.
Guy, this guy just did not speak any English at all. But Google Translate, I never realized how good it was. It's actually really decent. There are a couple of wrong translations, but we were able to understand what he said, and he was able to understand us.
Yeah, they weren't too wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
And then the other emergency we had was laundry, because I don't think people realize this, is that if you're on the road for a long time, you can't just go and ask your hotel to do the laundry for you because it's way too expensive. Every time we go somewhere, we have to find a place to do laundry. Right now, I'm sitting here in my pajamas, and all my laundry is, we found a laundromat somewhere that will pick up the laundry for us.
Yeah.
You lucky boy.
one of the
Because
things
I'm in my street clothes, and I know that these are not going to get washed.
Oh, wow. I don't know if I'd be proud of that.
Well,
but
it's because
okay.
I had to bring down the laundry. But that's
Yeah.
besides the point. Aaron, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was going to say, one of the things that you can do as a tourist once you run out of clean clothes is you can ask your hotel, if you're staying at one, if they work with any nearby laundry facilities
To wash and fold.
to
yeah.
wash and fold.
Right.
You don't want to get dry clean because that's so
That's
expensive.
the only
So-
thing. That's the only thing they do on site, and it's ridiculously expensive. You have to tell them. So, what is a wash and fold, not dry clean, wash and fold
Right.
place that you work with? Could you put me in touch with them? Can they come over and pick it up? And I actually went down to it and like, okay, so are there any like specific things you want us to tell them about your laundry? Like, is there an item that can't be dried? And I give them all that information. It's just as good as your at-home washing and drying
Yeah.
machines, but they'll do it for you. It's a lot cheaper than dry clean. Dry clean is useless, if I'm being honest.
And I want to add one more thing, is that it's so much better than having to stop everything and go to a laundromat.
After COVID, there really aren't any laundromats anywhere. I mean, when we were in Qatar
a laundromat
and
here.
UAE, they didn't
Yeah.
have laundromats.
But there's a laundromat here,
They
and
closed them all.
by the way, it's a laundromat with cats too. It's like a cat laundromat.
Ah,
You know
wow.
how cat cafes? They have cat laundromats here. I
Worth
found
it.
that.
Maybe
on
we
Google.
should do that the next time.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, getting dry cleaning, and I want to put this into perspective for you. You get dry cleaning for professional suits that cannot be washed and
Yes.
dried. This is like getting your underwear dried cleaned. Like who
No,
does that?
You wouldn't do that.
So you
Definitely.
always want to ask about wash and fold.
Yeah,
That's
the
it.
moment you check in, you ask at the front desk,
Bottom
do
line.
you have a place that you work with that does wash
Yeah.
and fold? And then you just get it done. It does take some time. The shortest that we've ever had it done, the quickest, has been like 4 or 5 hours. But the one that we're doing right now is going to take a whole day.
No, the quickest we got it done with was 3 hours.
Okay.
Oh,
Remember
really?
when we went to Cock Bay?
Yes, we went to Cock Bay, and the guy was able to do it very quickly. That was the quickest.
Yeah, that was because I screwed up. So, but anyway.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, but also one other benefit of getting wash and fold with an external laundry and using your hotel as an intermediary is that you don't have to spend as much time like going to a laundromat.
Yes.
And
Well, and also, if you do that, you know that you're going to see your laundry again because there's no way they're going to disappoint the hotel. If they lose an item of yours, they're going to do whatever they can to get it fixed.
Yeah.
going to a
Find it.
laundromat can be a very negative experience sometimes.
It can be dangerous.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah, so I would say, if you can get someone to handle it for you, especially while you're on vacation, because you want to have a good time when you're on a vacation. You don't want to, dip in, go to some sort of laundromat where they take a currency you don't have and go through the frustration of a million different problems. A lot of people don't travel with Tide Pods or whatever.
Yeah, it's the coins. That's the biggest issue.
Yeah, no one's been keeping those as a sack since like 2016.
We don't even have any native currency on us right now. And probably not a good thing.
Yeah. Another type of emergency that I wanted Aiden to talk about is food emergency, because he's had to deal with lots of food emergencies, and he's going to deal with one again today.
Yes, tonight.
Because-
And that's because he's on a different meal schedule than we are.
Well, he's a little bit of a pickier eater, but sometimes he doesn't have any food he can eat.
I'm just watching them speak for me right now. Do you want me to explain myself? Please?
No, I don't need you to explain yourself. I just need you to explain how is it that you solve these meal emergencies.
That's explaining myself. You're basically asking me to explain myself. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Uber Eats is a powerful tool. But sometimes Uber Eats doesn't exist in the country that you are going to.
Like here.
So I went actually on my way back from dropping off the laundry, which we just did beforehand. I went to the concierge and I asked, hey, you speak Turkish. You can understand what this app is saying, because it wasn't even in English. They don't even have an English option. And he went onto the app and did everything for me. I'm like, thank you so much. And then I came back upstairs, and now I can get food. So no more food emergency here.
Yeah, you have to think about it. That's what I've been trying to get you guys to do is that you think about the meals in advance of the meal actually becoming a pressing issue. So you think about, where am I going to have dinner tonight or whatever.
Yeah.
And
now I have food.
Now you have food.
Now I have food.
That's good.
I'm going to order it right after this.
So we've reached the end of another amazing Elliott Confidential
amazing
podcast. It is an amazing podcast.
It is
a valuable experience.
And now, and I think we've given people some very useful information about how to overcome some of the emergencies with connections and with food and things like that. And but I do want to ask you guys: would you, based on what you know now, would you recommend coming to Istanbul, or is this kind of a place where you just, maybe you come here on a stopover and then go to wherever the next place is?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. I don't know yet. We've only been here for 2 days.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm undecided. I like what I've seen so far, though.
Yeah, I like it. You know what? Maybe it's like the euphoria of leaving South Africa, because I am very happy about that. But I'll tell you what, I have liked a lot of what I've seen. Like, because it looks like a nice busy city, but also safe at the same time. That's not something you find everywhere. Usually when it's a busy city equals danger, but here, not so much.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's a lot safer than other places that we've been. I'm not going to mention any names. South Africa.
Cape Town.
Yeah.
That was a very convincing cough there, Aaron.
Yeah, so you like
Carlita.
Okay.
Go.
Kylie. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys next week. Well, you reached the end of another amazing Elliott Confidential podcast. We are off to experience more of Turkey, and we'll report back next week. Safe travels, everyone.
Yep. See you next time. Love you.
Ciao.